For over 2 millennia, the story of the Trojan Horse has captivated imaginations as one of history's most cunning military deceptions. Homer's epic tale tells us how Greek warriors hid inside a massive wooden horse, fooling the Trojans into bringing their own destruction within the walls of Troy. But what if this legendary story, etched into our collective consciousness, conceals a far more complex truth? Recent archaeological discoveries are forcing scholars to reconsider everything we thought we knew about the fall of Troy, suggesting that the reality behind the myth may be even more extraordinary than the legend itself. The traditional narrative seems straightforward. After 10 years of siege, the Greeks constructed an enormous wooden horse, concealed their finest warriors inside, and presented it as a gift to the goddess Athena. The Trojans, believing the Greeks had finally retreated, wheeled this supposed offering into their city. Under cover of darkness, the hidden warriors emerged, opened the gates for their waiting army, and Troy fell in a single night of fire and blood. Yet, archaeological evidence from the site of ancient Troy, located in modern-day Turkey, tells a markedly different story. Excavations led by teams from the University of Tübingen have revealed that Troy 7A, the layer corresponding to Homer's legendary city, shows clear signs of violent destruction dating to approximately 1180 BCE. However, the nature of this destruction presents puzzling contradictions to the traditional horse narrative. The archaeological record indicates that Troy's final destruction was not the result of a single night's assault, but rather the culmination of a prolonged period of decline and multiple attacks. Burn layers throughout the city show evidence of several fires occurring over an extended time frame, not the concentrated conflagration described in classical sources. Furthermore, the pattern of destruction suggests systematic dismantling rather than chaotic warfare, implying that the city may have been methodically stripped of its wealth and strategic materials. Perhaps most intriguingly, recent excavations have uncovered evidence of significant engineering projects within Troy's walls during its final period. Advanced ground-penetrating radar has revealed a complex network of underground tunnels and chambers beneath the city, far more extensive than previously imagined. These subterranean passages connect various parts of the city and extend beyond the walls, suggesting a sophisticated system designed for either defense or, potentially, infiltration. The conspiracy theory emerging from these findings proposes that the Trojan horse was not a deceptive gift, but rather a cover story, concealing a far more elaborate operation. Some researchers now suggest that Greek forces may have infiltrated Troy through these underground passages over an extended period, systematically weakening the city from within. The wooden horse, in this interpretation, becomes symbolic rather than literal, representing the methodical internal sabotage that ultimately led to Troy's downfall. Supporting this theory is the discovery of Greek artifacts in contexts that predate the supposed final siege, suggesting ongoing contact and possible infiltration between the warring peoples. Additionally, analysis of human remains from the destruction layer reveals evidence of malnutrition and disease, indicating that Troy was already severely weakened before its final fall. The implications of this archaeological evidence extend far beyond academic curiosity. If the Trojan horse story was indeed a cover for a more complex intelligence operation, it represents one of history's earliest examples of psychological warfare and disinformation. The Greeks may have crafted the horse narrative not just to explain their victory, but to conceal their actual methods, protecting their strategic innovations for future conflicts. As we continue to unearth Troy's secrets, one truth becomes increasingly clear. The line between myth and history is far more complex than we once believed. The Trojan horse conspiracy reminds us that sometimes the greatest deceptions are not the lies we tell our enemies, but the stories we tell ourselves.